Welcome to the Infinite Media Podcast, and I'm really excited about this episode. But before we get into it, we're going to first start by talking about AI, and AI is just improving at a great rate. And then after that, we're going to talk all things Age of Wonders 4 because basically we have less than 2 weeks. Comes out May 2nd, and the potential is already great. Now, we already know that AI, ChatGPT, has pretty much, I'm going to say it changed the world. And it's going to change the world if it hasn't already, because now pretty much all the big companies are making a push for it. And it's advancing at a rapid rate, more than legislation can keep up with all the safety concerns and all the stuff. I'm going to say if that's good or bad. I'm just going to say that it's improving at the greatest rate in technological history, from what I can tell. So Google working on their thing. Facebook's AI got leaked, unfortunately, or fortunately for people. I'd still need to look for it. I don't know if it's still out or anywhere, but I'm more concerned with video games. And the video game thing, the first thing is MetaHuman, Unreal Engine's version of AI of creating its little special animations by recording you and then how it moves and everything. Later on, I'm going to start doing videos, like reaction videos to different AI systems, what I think about it, especially with Unreal Engine's competitor Unity. And I saw a video, I don't know what, if it was at a games conference or something, but it was very interesting when it came to the folds and how the folds changes, like if you're wearing clothes. And the initially, I play games like Pathfinder, Kingmaker right now, and I'm going to be playing Age of Wonders 4. So it's really not going to be that important when it's concerned with those type of games. But whenever I play games like Fallout or Skyrim or some games like I'm either third person or first person, sometimes whenever I'm looking at an NPC, that's going to be good. Those scenes are going to come up, and I am going to explore those more. I'm just excited that these things are in the works and they're showcasing this, and Elder Scrolls 6 is not out yet. So I'm really excited to see what Bethesda, because the release date, the earliest date is 2024. So we're not going to get Elder Scrolls 6 this year. So, and AI is advancing at such a rate that Bethesda, even though I haven't heard anything, they are definitely going to be using AI. And plus, Microsoft acquired them, so the potential is there, and I'm excited to see how that works. And I'm saying that because going into Age of Wonders 4, I didn't realize that Paradox, I knew Paradox Interactive, that was the company behind it, but then I didn't put two and two together that Paradox Interactive created Crusader Kings 3. Now you have Age of Wonders. I'm going to use Planetfall because I'm playing Planetfall, and so I'm going to use Age of Wonders, Planetfall, Crusader Kings 3. Very different games. They're both strategy games. One, Crusader Kings 3, is a grand strategy game. Less about the roleplay. A lot of roleplay elements though, but mainly your ruler. Well, you start off with one ruler. Your ruler could die, but you're trying to lead your kingdom, your country, or whatever. I'm going to be playing Elder Kings 2, so either way, leading your country to whatever goals you want to do. It's more like an open-ended stuff. You have some quests versus Age of Wonders Planetfall, typical 4X game like Civilization. Try to get your race, your specific race, your civilization, whatever, your hero, leader, commander unit to take over somehow. Domination victory, economic victory, diplomatic victory, stuff like that. Not as roleplay heavy as like a real roleplay game like Fallout, but it has roleplay elements in the sense that your hero is a character or commander, however you want to talk about it, can level up, can get skills, can get equipment to it. So it's more roleplay than it's a combination of roleplay and strategy versus Crusader Kings 3, which is just strategy with roleplay elements. But Now with tours and tournaments, I discussed this a little bit on the last episode. Tours and tournaments is adding more role play to it. So, like I discussed before, they're blending role playing with strategy. And I'm saying that the importance of this is going into Age of Wonders 4. I've recently checked out their dev diary for sieges and dev diary for diplomacy and stuff like that. So now you're going from Age of Wonders Planetfall to Age of Wonders 4. It looks like they're adding more diplomacy. So we're starting to see them come together in a good way. They're never going to be the same. They're still going to have their own separate audiences. They're going to be their own thing, but it's exciting that they're taking the best things from one and like merging it. So like with Crusader Kings 3, they're adding more roleplay components, adding more character, which is good considering that it fits with the game. Grand strategy. People matter. It's less about the civilization. In Civilization 6, the people don't matter. It's just the civilization, people fighting. You don't care about the people. The people don't exist. But with CK3, which I didn't really understand the greatness of it when CK2 was out, but CK3 really points it out that, okay, you're trying to build up your civilization, you're trying to grow, but you're still a person. And this person matters, these other people matter, they all have their stuff. And I'm excited. I brought up AI before because with AI, because there was already an experiment bringing ChatGPT into the world of Bannerlord. You can check that video out on YouTube. But now with AI, now this AI can create new scenarios. They haven't implemented it yet, or they haven't even talked about it yet. But when I was reading the dev diary with the diplomacy and stuff, they already talked about how the regular writers and stuff, like normal employees, have created a large database of scenarios and stuff like that. AI, Age of Wonders 4 was already close to completion before like AI in the terms of ChatGPT style AI was out. So I don't think it's going to be in there in the base game, but you can still use that stuff with the DLC. So for AI type things, it's going to help them make more races, or at least allow the modders to make more races easier. Specifically Tiefling. Tiefling is not in there. Aasimar are gonna pretty much look like humans, so you can make an Aasimar like thing. I want to bring these type of Pathfinders as D&D races in, so that way I can bring Vani from our Pathfinder Kingmaker playthrough and his children eventually when we go Wrath the Righteous into the world of Age of Wonders 4. That's what I'm excited about. The developers are already going to do the Dragonkin, or however their version of it is. So it's exciting for models, for races, but it's also good for diplomacy. So now it could be even more realistic and more dynamic, because now the AI will be able to understand, remember what you say, remember your response, and it can be more developing. And of course, they're going to need to be tweaked and everything, but I'm really excited for that. Lots of potential. Now, to go back to diplomacy, I really didn't have a problem with Age of Wonders Planetfall diplomacy. I didn't see any way of improving it. Of course, it can always be improved and be made better, but it was all right in terms of my play style. I really didn't care for it too much. I just trade for stuff. I'm not trying to talk to these AI. I'm just trying to destroy and rule the world. Now, the siege engines. When I read that dev diary, I still only watched the video. It's in my list, but I have a lot of things to watch right now. But I read the dev diary, and I'm excited about that because Age of Wonders Planetfall, it's been so long since I played Age of Wonders 3, so I don't remember how the battle was, but it brought back memories reading it. Especially the walls and stuff like that. Age of Wonders Planetfall doesn't have like walls. Of course, well, they do have walls, but it's not like real walls. It's pretty much just an alcove for you to stay in that. It's just a trench initially. So they don't have walls. And then when I was reading the Siege Engine dev diary, I was reminded when I did play Age of Wonders 3, and you did have walls, and then you have little gates. And then you could actually break down the gates and stuff like that. Then you had spiders who had the wall walking and all that stuff. And then tiger pantherian creatures could naturally wall walk because of their claws and stuff like that. That was interesting. That was a very fun thing to do. And then I didn't realize Age of Wonders Planetfall was missing this until I remembered. So it's exciting that the Age of Wonders 4 will have the walls returning. And the garrison, I forgot that Age of Wonders 3 didn't have garrisons. That's one of the big things Age of Wonders Planetfall that's good, that I can defend at least a little bit. In the late game, when they have all these different units, it's not really defensive. They just come in and take a city. I feel that even more in my current, because now we're playing the last mission of the main campaign. In that campaign, basically, it's just all that war, battle. This is where I can't just sit back and build up and snowball like I did in the last mission. I have to keep on fighting, and it really changes the game. It doesn't make it less fun. In fact, I'm just pretty sure this is how the game is supposed to be played normally. Like, you're doing a balance between building up and building army. I'm so glad they changed the fact in Age of Wonders 4 you can build army and you can build structures at the same time, which is good. But we're going to get back to Age of Wonders Planetfall. Let me not get on the tangent. Sieges. So now you have siege mechanics, so they can't just run up on you and steal a city. That's one of the major problems with dealing with AI and different creatures in Age of Wonders Planetfall, because they just keep on run up, take a city, then move, run up, take a city, then move. And then when I would take their city, now I'm besieged. I don't besiege their city in Age of Wonders Planetfall. Planetfall, you don't have to besiege city, but I take their city, then I'll move on and take another city. But while I'm trying to absorb a city, they can come back, like move off around the map, and then take. I had this in the last mission. Luckily, I just decided to just keep on moving forward and didn't have my reinforcements take the city back. Because usually when they just run around, it's with a weaker army, and then my other reinforcements can just kill them, and then I'll permanently have the city because there's no one to contest me. But I like the fact that now you have sieges. I didn't think about that, but that's a nice implementation. So now you have sieges. Now it's going to take them time to besiege the city, but then they even made it better, because now you can get siege upgrades if you're a defender. Now they have all these other different mechanics versus different towers to do, different walls to overcome, so it adds more variety and makes everything more dynamic. And then on your side, you can get different siege engines and other research. This is from my understanding. I haven't watched the video yet, but I read it. So it's what I understand from reading it. So I'm really excited about that. So now it's more gameplay mechanic. So now I might, because in Age of Wonders Planetfall, I usually do auto battle and auto resolve, especially in the late game, because it's like so many armies. I don't want to deal with all these units. I just want auto resolve. I already did the strategy. Now that I did the strategy, now I just need to send my army, because I've been playing Civilization most of the time, and in Civilization you don't have to deal with that, or you don't have that option. The tactical battles can be fun. I played a tactical battle last episode of Age of Wonders Planetfall, and that's like the first episode of the More Secondas, which is the last mission in the main campaign. So that was fun. So tactical combats are good. I don't know if I'm going to do some just to showcase in the initial playthrough of Age of Wonders 4, just to get used to the tactical combat and see if I'm more likely to do the tactical combat or just auto resolve. It's just easier to auto resolve things, especially when I'm doing recordings and playthroughs too, or the playthroughs are going to be much longer than what they already are. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. Whenever I get things set up around all this places, work with this whole scenery, then I'm going to work on doing reactions, because I do like watching YouTube videos where they talk about stuff that I'm interested in. Most of the things I watch is not, the reactions are not about video games per se, but I think that will be a nice addition where we look into like reactions on the metahuman thing. Of course, I'm not professional or anything, but I just enjoy video games. Want to eventually be able to influence that and work towards creating video games as well. I do understand the importance of modders. I did want to touch on that. So we'll probably start in the modding space because anyone who aspires to be a video game designer, programmer, developer, modding is a good testing ground because they already, especially with Bethesda, I'm going to use Bethesda. Bethesda and their creation engine and their modding community, so great. A lot of great mods, made by just solo people who wants to just enjoy the game, find an issue with the game, can it be improved, like the Acquisitive Soul Gem mods that's basically makes it where the soul gems matches the soul gems. Simple mod, needed a fix. Bethesda didn't do that. Bethesda didn't think like, why would we allow a petty soul gem to go into a greater soul gem? But they probably thought about it and realized that it shouldn't be limited because realistically they can go into the different soul. But then they could have made a mechanic where, hey, we'll have an option where the player can just press a button, and it's like they only go to this soul gem or whatever. Like give the option for the player to do that, and then they could make it in-game realistic, lore friendly, because then the player in-game would be the one. It's like, oh yeah, I'm putting the soul here. I'm not just soul trapping, I'm funneling it here. That could be the in-game reason. But yeah, I'm excited about modding. Anyone who aspires to be anything like that, they should do modding. I need to check it out. Check it out more, maybe. Probably with Elder Scrolls 6 with the creation engine. I'm excited about Solasta, because Solasta, you can create your own dungeons and stuff like that. So whenever we do play Solasta, I will check that out. See, just get my feet wet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I hope you are as excited about Age of Wonders 4 as I am, because it's going to be the first game